Hello, good morning from Pridnestrovie, or Transnistria as it is known in English. Pridnestrovie or Transnistria calls themselves Pridnestrovia Moldovian Republic, which is Transnistrian Moldovian Republic. The first time I heard about this country or republic was sometime around 2012 when I was watching a documentary by Simon Reeve, a BBC documentary by Simon Reeve, Places That Don't Exist. Pridnestrovie or Transnistria is a breakaway republic from nearby Moldova, just 1 hour drive away. It happened that after the breakdown of Soviet Union in 1991, Pridnestrovie or Transnistria had more of ethnic Russians and wanted to break away from the nearby Moldova. It happened that, trying to liberate themselves, they had a war. They had a war in 1991 to liberate the Republic of Transnistria or Pridnestrovia. In fact, no UN member state recognizes this country. But they've got their own currency, they've got their own government, and you wouldn't find the map of this country or this republic anywhere. Moving into this country or this breakaway republic was a bit of a bumpy ride along the way, but in the end, I made it here. And in fact, the border crossing, I can tell you, has been the easiest so far. The most difficult was in Heathrow Airport, and this is the easiest one. Здравствуйте. Да, я говорю по-русски.
Футбол играете, да?
Не, я не футболист.
Турист?
Я турист, да. А можно у вас вопрос, если я могу? Люди говорят, что эта страна не существует. Это неправда, да?
Очевидно, невероятно.
Я здесь, и я вижу, что эта страна вообще существует.
Знаете, что здесь у нас?
И для вас у меня еще один вопрос. А когда жизнь была лучше? Сейчас, на данный момент, или при Союзе?
Вы знаете, жизнь это такая штука, что кто трудится, ему было лучше и тогда, и при коммунистах, и при царском режиме, и при старых режимах. Кто трудится, он живет. То есть классическая схема о том, что движение это жизнь, это правда. Это она не меняется, это мы меняемся. Меняется наше мышление, меняется информация, меняется техника, все меняется. Но классика остается, она заложена именно в этом. Жизнь это движение, и кто двигается, тот живет.
Спасибо. Еще и последний вопрос. Я читал в интернете, что у вас есть свои купюры, деньги.
Есть, конечно.
Да?
Конечно.
У вас есть? Можно посмотреть какой-нибудь? Может быть,
да,
мелочь?
Есть, почему нет? Вот, пожалуйста.
So.
Вот наш рубль, который, как бы сказать.
Вау. А сколько этот? У меня есть молдавский рубль. А можем поменять, как бы для, для дружбы?
Она близко один к одному.
Мне все равно, сколько он стоит. А, сейчас, подождите. И... Хорошо, 5.
Что я могу вам дать?
Хорошо, давайте 10 тогда.
10, да, вот
10 на 10.
Да, все правильно.
Спасибо.
50-50.
50-50.
Экономика.
Хорошо, спасибо.
Экономика. И
было очень приятно. Было очень приятно познакомиться.
Всех благ.
Да. Alright, you hear from the man himself. I got myself 10 rubles from Tiraspol, from Pridnestrovie. So this country actually exists in its own way, but not in international way. Let's go find out what more this country or this city has to offer. I got myself 10 ruble from this country, from this breakaway republic. Look at this. But anyways, every other person I've asked about this country or about Soviet Union has always told me that Soviet Union times have always been better. In order for Transnistria or Pridnestrovie to get their independence from nearby Moldova, they also had to fight for it. there was a war here which saw the liberation of this breakaway republic, although internationally not recognized. And right in front of me is what I believe is eternal flame in memory of all the fallen soldiers, if not in the Second World War, then of course soldiers who were fighting to liberate this breakaway republic from Moldova. And right ahead over there is what I believe is the government building, and on the rooftop you can see Russian flag and the flag of Transnistria, or Pridnestrovie as they call it, and of course the statue of Lenin, which shows that this country has very strong ties with Russia. Right in the heart of the city, it shows 1941 to 1945, which I believe is the period when Transnistria, or people of Transnistria, was actively involved in the Second World War, which lasted from 1939 to 1945. And it says Vechnaya Pamyat Toplesno Pavshim. This is like eternal monument of all the fallen heroes. The country, or the Republic of Transnistria, is interesting to me. Why? Because the first time I heard it, I was a little bit confused, and it was sometime around 2012 when I heard, and when I saw the first documentary, a BBC documentary by Simon Reeve. The title of that documentary is Places That Don't Exist. It covers places like Transnistria, Nagorno-Karabakh, and the Chechen area, and South Ossetia. I was able to come here because right from Moldova you don't need anything else other than your passport. Well, actually there are only 2 or 3 breakaway republics that recognize Transnistria as a country of its own. No other country in UN recognizes this country or breakaway republic. It has got its own government, its own president, parliament. You could see a few minutes ago I exchanged the currency, Moldovan currency, to their currency. Transnistria, or Pridnestrovie, also has got a beach. Has got what I call a beach down there. If you find yourself in this country by this time of the year when it's actually very hot, you can have a cool off swimming in the Dnistria river. And of course, if you've married and you want your marriage to be eternal, this is where to come. In Transnistria Bridge. So I'm in this supermarket to get directions on how to get to one very popular cafe. Don't go away. Сколько стоит квас?
2,30.
Хорошо, можно маленький объем?
Вот маленький вам даю объем.
Спасибо.
Пожалуйста. Девочки, что вам там заказывать?
2 кваса. У вас какой он? Темный?
Только темный.
Давай. 2 больших.
2 больших.
Спасибо.
Пожалуйста.
You find yourself in Transnistria or Pridnestrovie, of course, try the good old Soviet malt, kvass. Very refreshing. And that actually proves that the money works. The currency which I just exchanged a few minutes ago from the man wasn't fake. It helped me buy a kvass, and I got myself some souvenir in a country that does not exist. In a country that does not exist, I was able to find a man in the park, in the square, in the National Square or the Freedom Square. I was able to walk around the city buy myself good old Soviet kvass or malt, refresh. All under the space of an hour in a country that does not exist. Comment below what you think. I'm right here in the very center of Tiraspol. Tiraspol is the capital city of Pridnestrovie or Transnistria, a country they say does not exist. But I was able to visit this country, and by far I can tell you the border crossing was the easiest so far. Cars are passing me by honking, people are nice. They speak Russian, so it's a bit of an advantage for me because I speak Russian. I want to go into the city, maybe one village nearby, or if I can't, maybe I should find a supermarket or a store, talk to the local people. Right, look at this good old Soviet trolleybus. I'm having a nice time in Eastern Europe. And I can tell you one thing, when you want to come to this part of the world, just study a little bit of Russian. You don't need to go to a school for that. You can use internet, Google Translate, whatsoever. Learn a bit of Russian. It will be very advantageous to you. But just as I said, let me hit the city or the streets, see what I can find for myself. Stay tuned and don't go away. People are looking at me from their windows, from the windows of their cars, wondering what a black dude is doing in the center of the city, walking around on vans. It can't get any better than this. Alright, let's see what more we can find. Don't go away. I'm right here in another part of the town. It says Domo Sovetov. Looks like what I believe is the House of Parliament or something, with the monument of the man himself, Mr. Lenin, who was the first head of state of the Soviet Union from 1922 to 1924, I believe, 2 years or even more. I have done a bit of walking all around the city of Tiraspol or Pridnestrovie, and trust me, it doesn't feel any different than any other city I've been to or any other country I've been to. It's sufficiently hot. A few minutes ago I got myself a kvass, or an old Soviet malt, a kvass as they call it. Remember, no country in the UN recognizes this part of the world as a separate country on its own. So while you're here, obey all the laws, be obedient. Здравствуйте. А можно вас вопрос? Люди говорят, что вашей страны не существует. Это правда?
Она никем не признана. Это правда.
Это правда, да?
Да.
Но я виду, что правда, потому что я там менял деньги и покупал продукты в магазин. Вижу, люди тоже поговорили с людьми, и я вижу, что это правда. И как вам в стране, что вы можете сказать? Ну, это, тут друзья смотрят.
Здесь очень гостеприимные люди. Солнечно, много фруктов, овощей, тепло, вино.
Вино у вас даже есть?
Здесь класс.
А как называется ваше вино, чтобы я покупал?
Ой, ассортимент очень
Разные,
большой.
да? Разные. А пиво есть какое-нибудь?
Пиво есть.
Домашний, который оттуда,
Нет,
да?
нет. У нас фабрики, заводы делают свое, как бы,
Хорошо,
по своим технологиям.
понятно.
А здесь
Спасибо за ваше время, я вас не мешаю дальше.
нет.
Хорошо, peace.
Всем привет.
Всем привет. Right, nice people. But I'm drawing closer to the end of my stay in Pridnestrovie or Transnistria. I'm not going to spend the night here. It's just a few hours trip. I'll find my way back to Moldova, where I still have some more things, some places to go and other things to film. But of course, remember, while you're here, obey the local rules, because if you fall into trouble, your country itself does not recognize this country as a country on its own. So the diplomatic relations might be a bit tricky. Здравствуйте. А можно вас вопрос, если могу?
Давай.
Скажите, пожалуйста, мне интересно, а когда жизнь была лучше, сейчас или при Союз?
Сейчас.
Сейчас? Хорошо, спасибо. This is the first person who lived in the Soviet Union to tell me that life right now is better than during the Soviet Union. I believe you've seen a lot of videos where I've asked people, when was it better, right now or during the Soviet Union? I think she didn't want to talk to me. I think she is kind of believing that I'm up for propaganda or something, but I'm just asking out of free will. All right, I think I'm going to end it here, but of course remember, while in Transnistria or Pridnestrovie, keep all your hands clean. Do not fall into trouble here, because your country itself does not recognize this country as a separate entity on its own. So the diplomatic negotiations might be a bit tricky. But yeah, I'm glad that I was able to visit here before everything changes, before something changes in the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or maybe it's never going to change. But of course, the city is fast changing. You can see Soviet architecture. I don't know when this was built. And over here across, a different modern architecture, or maybe Soviet architecture, which is already modernized. But yeah, glad I was able to visit this city or this country to see things for myself. Whenever you are here, obey the rules and regulations, don't fall into trouble. But most importantly, if you've seen my channel for the first time, hit that like button, subscribe, help your boy get to 1,000 subscribers when I unpack my travel pack, when I show you how I travel, what I travel with, etc. So stay tuned. But until the next episode, of course, your boy Myers and Vance. Peace.